Do you know what's wild? I don't think I've ever reviewed a kit lens in my career ever. And that's crazy because, it's easy to get enamored with all the expensive fast glass and new zooms, pro lenses, all that kind of stuff. But this is the kind of lens that will most commonly be used by so many beginner photographers. Why wouldn't you want to know how these perform optically? And so I'm actually really excited to discover everything about this lens because I got the brand new Nikon 24-105 f4 to 7.1, and I'm kitting it with a Nikon Z5 II. I'm also excited because I really love this camera body and it's nice to play with it again. But this is just the kind of kit that a lot of people are going to start with. Let's find out if it's any good. I'm Chris Niccolls. This is PetaPixel. Just check it out. Now, the 24-105 focal range is a classic focal range. It's very useful for general purpose photography. But you know what? There's no denying the fact that this lens has a very slow aperture range. f4 to 7.1 at the telephoto range. That's not great. And that's strange because, if you go back to the DSLR days, there was actually a ton of really interesting good kit lenses that usually had f3.5 to 5.6 apertures. And in fact, if you're interested in learning more about those, go to cage.com. You're going to find a ton of DSLR kit lenses on there. If you're still rocking a DSLR and you need to get yourself a new or new to you kit lens, that's a great place to go. Pop in the search engine, throw in something like the excellent Nikkor 24-120 f3.5 to 5.6, and you'll find them on there. You're going to see the condition, you're going to see what's available, what accessories come with it. And when you buy these lenses, you just have the peace of mind of knowing that you've got a generous return policy as well as a free 180-day warranty on thousands of items. We love cage.com. I think when you check it out, you will too. They are PetaPixel's official pre-owned camera gear partner. So I know that the f7.1 aperture here is going to cause me some issues today, and I'm going to explain that more fully as we go through, but Nikon really needed a general purpose zoom kit lens just like this because what are their other options? Well, the Z5 II does come with a 24 to 50 millimeter kit lens option. It's a good lens, but it's not really that much faster, and that's such a limited range. It just doesn't suit general purpose photography. You could absolutely go to the 24-120 f4, one of my favorite lenses of all time, just an awesome lens, but the cost goes way up. And if you want to look at alternatives that give you even more range, like the Tamron 25 to 200 or the Nikkor 24 to 200, those lenses, again, are going to basically double the cost. And look, Nikon is going to bundle this lens with the Z5 II and maybe some other bodies going forward in the future. So it actually makes a ton of sense when you consider just how affordable it is, especially when kitted with a body. So we're gonna have some challenges today. I mean, first off, it's an overcast, kind of yucky day. It's gonna rain any moment and the wind is brutal. So we'll be hiding from that for most of the video. As well, I gotta wrestle with this strap. I mean, it was nice that Nikon let me borrow this Z5 II to play with, but it's got the strap on here. I'm gonna leave it on there. But the lens handle, at least, is very easy to carry all day long. It weighs only 340 grams, almost nothing, but that's because it's basically all plastic. And not only is this lens quite plasticky, but it's very basic. There's just not much here as far as controls go. On the front of the lens, you got your 67 millimeter filter thread there, just a simple zoom ring. It's got that kind of cheaper kit lens feel, but at least it's got good resistance, so I don't feel like it's gonna creep out on me. As you can see, it extends quite a ways away from the body when you're zooming, but at least this is internal focusing, which means nothing in the front is gonna move or change when I'm autofocusing. I like that. Otherwise, though, I've just got a customizable control ring here. Probably going to use that for manual focusing most of the time if I'm doing macro or something. And that's it. There's no AF/MF switch. There's no other customizable controls on it. And look at this. Plastic lens mount, of course, no gasket as well for weather sealing there. I mean, I didn't expect this. This is an affordable kit lens, and I don't like plastic lens mounts, and yeah, they can crack easily, although to be fair, when I say easily, I mean only when you drop the camera on the ground. They don't really crack on their own just from regular use. And if you're dropping your camera on the ground, you probably have more issues than just a broken lens mount. So a lens like this is gonna have a stepping motor, an STM in there, and I mean, I'm not thinking about the autofocus while I'm shooting, which is, I guess, probably the greatest compliment I can give it. It's just not causing me any problems. It's smooth, it's quick, it's locking on target, working with the 3D tracking really well, so yeah, no issues. Flowers in Alberta in the springtime in April? I don't think so, unless you can find fake ones, which we did. This is great because this actually gives me an opportunity to test something on this lens, which is really quite versatile. This has a very decent macro capability for such an affordable lens. So I can get half life-size reproduction on this. That's not bad. I can certainly get in for some nice tight details. And I'm gonna take a shot of these flowers here. The wind's not doing me favors, but I'll do my best. Now I actually get fairly good working distance from the sensor plane, just under 8 inches, but that means the lens still has a few inches of space, so I'm not blocking too much light or anything. And there's my minimum range right there. And actually I can get some really nice macro capability. The only things I want to mention here, remember that it does the best work at around that 105 millimeter mark. And that is unfortunately where I've got that slow f7.1 aperture. So I have to expect that I'm going to be shooting at higher ISOs on a regular basis. This does not have any image stabilization in the lens, so I got to count on the body's IBIS to help me out. And faster shutter speeds, you know, that's just going to be the name of the game. But it does still give me nice detail, fun close-ups, and for a beginner photographer that wants to explore, this is a great way to get into it. So on a day like today, the sun is only popping out very occasionally, so when it does finally peek through, I got to run on to get shots no matter what the location is. So let's take a look at our flare examples here. The photos suck, I get it, but at least we can get some information from the shot itself. So you can see here when shooting wide open, we're actually not having any sort of flare issues. The coatings are doing a great job. When I stop down to f16 to really try to accentuate whatever ghosting might be there, if you look at the very bottom right in the shadows there, you can see this tiny little green dot, but overall, this lens is actually handling flare quite well. And as you can see, I'm rocking it sans hood. How about the bokeh? Well, it's okay. If you look at our shots here, you can see wide open. We're getting a bit of schmutz in the specular highlights, and I don't love the truncated cat's eye effect that you often see on these lenses. Okay, fine. When you stop down the lens, things stay fairly round. You know, the onion rings, the soap bubble effect, it's not too strong. And so the transitions from in focus to out of focus are actually quite smooth, quite pleasant looking. It's very average. I mean, the bokeh here, the character of the overall out of focus area, it's fine. It's good for a lens that costs this. You know, Jordan and I were just talking about the dark days, the DSLR days when we started our careers and we were using kit lenses that were, you know, not very good, not very sharp, bad flare, bad bokeh. And things have come so far. I mean, Sharpness is a great example because it's hard to find soft lenses nowadays. This is no exception. This thing is sharp as hell. I mean, take a look at our chart here, 24 millimeters in the center at f4, great detail, good contrast. I'm not really concerned about it. Stopping down the lens, sure, no real reason. And here in the corners too, shooting at f4, maybe a little bit soft compared to the center, but barely. I mean, this is good detail. Some vignetting at 24 millimeter, but it's incredibly minor, and that all goes away when you stop down. And at the 105 millimeter range, I mean, again, we're starting at f7.1. There's not much to really stop down here, but the centers are sharp. You can see that at f8 doesn't really make any difference. The corners here as well, quite decent. Maybe again, a touch of vignetting, but that goes away by f8, but this incredibly minor. So as far as sharpness goes, this kit lens is gonna have no issues whatsoever. Oh, and also I want to point out that I did do this testing on a Nikon Z8 just to push the megapixels as far as we could. So regardless whether you're shooting on a Z5 II or a Z8, whatever Nikon has to offer, this kit lens will deliver the sharpness. So straight up, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. When I first thought about this lens and how I was gonna review it, I had already formed a preconception in my head that this was gonna be a boring product. You know, it's just gonna kind of be a very simple, boring product that you're gonna wanna graduate from as soon as possible. And you know what? Having played with it, I don't know if that's really the case for me anymore. Because here's the thing. For me personally, I find a 24 to 105 range far more useful than a 24 to 50 as a kit lens. As good as that other 24 to 50 is, this is a lens that a beginner can do portraits with and do landscapes with and travel with, and it's light enough not to worry about it. But honestly, there's not many optical imperfections. Like the bokeh is fine, the flare is well controlled, it's a sharp lens, and the macro is actually really useful out of this thing. And so obviously the elephant in the room is the slower aperture, especially at the telephoto range, and that will eventually become problematic for people. And so yeah, you will eventually want to graduate from this, maybe to the excellent 24-120 f4, or maybe to something even faster, or maybe you're going to move into primes. But I kind of see this 24-105 kit lens, as simplistic as it is, actually hanging on for quite a long time in your camera bag. It really is that good, especially when you consider how affordable it is. And frankly, I don't know if there's many alternatives. I mean, if I was going to buy a Z5 II and I could look at this being the price it is with the kit, I would just go this way before looking at, you know, anything like a super zoom and stuff. I guess unless I specifically wanted something that goes way beyond that 105mm focal length. So cheap, cheerful, great lens for beginners. I don't know what else to say, but you guys leave your comments below. Let us know what you think about this. We always appreciate the feedback. And if you ever want to delve past the reviews and see behind the curtain as to how our minds really tick, you should definitely listen to the PetaPixel podcast. Or if you want to see our beautiful faces while discovering all this, you can actually watch it on this exact same YouTube channel. Also, do consider supporting us with a PetaPixel.com membership. Look at all the benefits that we're going to give you here. $3 a month, $30 a year. Are you kidding me? It is fantastic value, even better value than a 24-105 kit lens with your Z5 II. Enough rambling. If you haven't subscribed already, now's a good time to do it. And that way you won't miss the next episode when I see you guys again here on PetaPixel.